Thank you.
I'll take a few for the players. Some of these both. Let's do that. Okay, congratulations to the Providence Friars as they kick off the 2020 Big East Women's Basketball Tournament presented by Jeep with a 49-46 win in the first round over the Georgetown Hoyas. Providence advances to 7-1 all-time against Georgetown in the Big East Tournament. Take 2 out of 3 from the Hoyas this season, and Providence has advanced in consecutive Big East tournaments for the first time since 1995. So we'll see the Friars here tomorrow against top seed DePaul at 12 noon Central. As usual, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, then questions for the student-athlete Alyssa Geary. Make sure you raise your hand, and I'll recognize you before you ask your question. Then we'll excuse her, and we will open it up to questions from Coach. Or for Coach. But first, an opening statement from Coach Jim Crowley. Coach, congrats on the win.
Thank you. Credit to Georgetown. They played really hard. Certainly, you could tell Barnes didn't want her career to end. I thought this game looked like a game of two teams that have played last week. Both knew each other, and I thought there were some nerves at the start. And while, we didn't rebound at the level we would hope, and we certainly could do a better job taking care of the ball, I thought our defense was really consistent. We did a good job of regularly contesting shots and staying with possessions even when we gave up offensive rebounds, even when we had all those those turnovers. To defend like that is a really impressive thing, and just really proud of our group. Obviously this year hasn't always gone the way we wanted it to, but they showed a lot of resolve and a lot of togetherness to not get down at some moments where they could have throughout that game. So really proud of that, and going to enjoy this for about 5 minutes.
All right, we'll open it up to questions for Alyssa. Once again, raise your hand, and we'll recognize you if you have any questions for Alyssa. Right here in the back row.
Yeah, Johnny Silver with Big East Digital. Career high in block shots for you today, 6. Can you just describe what you were seeing out there?
I know that before we were looking at the Big East book, and me and Mary kind of were like, oh, I wonder, had a little competition between us, who could get the most blocks. And I think that Coach stresses a lot to just wall up and let the ball come to you. And, that's what I tried to do. I just tried to wall up. I didn't really try to block anything, and the ball just came in my hands, and I knew what I needed to do.
Anything else for Alyssa? Great. Congratulations, Alyssa. We'll get you back to the locker room.
Yep.
That's easy.
And we'll reset here for questions for Coach. All right, once again, raise your hand. We'll recognize you if you have anything for Coach Jim Crowley. Yeah, right here in the front.
I know, Ashley, as Big East Digital, looking ahead to tomorrow with DePaul, obviously a top-ranked team in there, what are you seeing? I know you're going to enjoy this for 5 minutes, but what are you seeing looking ahead to that matchup today or tomorrow?
DePaul is obviously very dynamic offensively and very underrated defensively. You know, we're banged up, and you know, it doesn't matter. We gotta go out and play. So we gotta find a way to control tempo. We certainly, you know, they're great at extra possessions, and you know, we got to do a better job of not turning it over and rebounding. You know, DePaul's coming in a little feisty, I'm sure, from how they ended the year, and they know they need wins to keep that home game. So, as I said, there's a lot of good things going for them, but the good thing going for us is we get to play again. So we're gonna go out and do what we do, play really hard, and look forward to the experience.
We'll go to the back row.
Coach, you used the word resiliency to describe your team this season. How did that manifest itself in the last 2 minutes of this game?
Yeah, I would even say throughout, you know, Mary goes down at the start of the second half. Every time we kind of got it to 8 or 9, they hit a few shots. You know, we had that turnover where the game looked kind of in control, and you know, we give the ball back to Orlette before she gets all the way in. They score off that. So, you know, their voices were a lot more prevalent as we were having huddles and timeouts and stuff, which is a lot of growth for us. So just to kind of stay focused on what they needed to do to get to that point, I thought was really resilient, and especially in some other cases, and against Georgetown. A lot of these folks, whether it was our first game against Georgetown or all 3 last year, had some fourth quarter issues against them. So to do it against them in this stage, I thought was a good growth of our resiliency.
Back here in the front.
Any update on Mary? I know obviously she's out for the rest of the game. For tomorrow, what do you think?
Well, you know, we're a pretty good hockey school, so I'm going to go with the hockey lower body injury, and we'll kind of see where it goes. We have an incredible athletic trainer. You know, it's a short turnaround, so we'll see.
Anything else for Coach? Right here, second row.
Coach, the ball's tough enough as is. So how much harder is it for you guys now to play them in their hometown?
Well, fortunately, not fortunately, we did that before, about a month ago, and that didn't go great. So we're used to, we've played in this arena a couple times. We played them in this arena. You know, we'll prepare for them. We know, you know, the great thing about Doug and DePaul is they are who they are, and they do it very well. We got to make sure we play really hard. We got to make sure that we grow from this, you know, and see where it ends up.
Great. Coach, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, as usual, we'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up to the floor for questions. So, Coach, an opening statement.
Yes, good afternoon. Tough game out there tonight, especially for the kids in the locker room. I think, whenever you fight to get back into a game and you fall short, for every senior, we have 4 or 5 seniors in there, it's their last game. And you feel for them as they go through, these tough times, and it's a tough season. But we're going to continue to work for those who are returning and get better, and hopefully next year we're not in this position, but we're back in a position that we're in bye week.
Okay, once again, if you have any questions for Coach, just raise your hand and we'll recognize you. Right here in the front.
Coach Taylor just on fire, hitting 14 in the first 16 in the first half. What was working for her today?
She played well off of ball screens. When she comes off a ball screen, she makes good reads. And then if we're running someone else off, they're able to try to find her on a spot up. But the key was drawing defenses and reading where she was. We try to run a lot of action for her to get her some good looks, some pin down stuff. To try to get her coming off, to put the balls in her hand and make a good decision with it.
Okay, back row.
Hey, Coach, Johnny Sokol from the Stage. Can you just describe what you saw in your team there in the last 5 minutes of the game? Your thoughts on the final?
I think we had the interview before the game with some of the media, and one thing we talked about, I said if we're in the game, coming down the last 5 minutes, their energy and their belief changed. And what I saw was they start to see the clock, and they saw they were down 3, they were down 4. They felt like they could win again. And the energy changed there. I thought they picked up their actions, their ability to scramble, rotate. I thought right about the 3.5 minute mark, I thought we had 3 key shots that we missed to tie it. And good looks. 3 from the corner, 3 up top, wide open looks. And that's the thing when you're having this type of season, it kind of break your back, because all year long we've had that look. We've had that look, but we just didn't have that player to knock it down at that crucial time.
Yep, here in the front again.
Can you just take me through those last 5 or 6 seconds, that chess match between both teams with the timeouts and then the play that ultimately ended it?
Yes. I think when it came down to it, we tried to get Telebonds coming off of something. We wanted a double screen, bring her off the baseline side. The key in that action is making sure that you set a solid screen to try to get it to your shooter. But the second option was trying to get Tayana Jones on a flare on the backside and Anita on a slip. So they did a good job of covering it, but we got it to Taylor. Taylor got it back out. Shot went up. Anita got the rebound to put it back in and take it back to a 2-point game. I thought it was a key possession before that. When we cut it to 2, we fouled. We didn't have to foul at that time. The clock was in their favor. You played through it. So, again, you're there and you're making those quick, not understanding what time and place is, and play through it. And we try to tell them that, but when you're in the game, it's like your emotions, you're not thinking, and then all of a sudden, bad decision.
Anything else for Coach? All right, Coach, thank you very much.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.